Good morning, beautiful people. Walking tall here from the forest, North Carolina. Such a beautiful day. Good morning. I lit some sage for you all. Clear the crown. There we go. Throat chakra. I also lit some candles for our talk this morning. Soul Sessions, episode 10. Let's get into it. There's a lot of talk going on about, there's a lot of talk from male leaders in the world, religious leaders, political leaders, politicians, preaching about a return to traditional ways. And so Soul Sessions episode 10 is goddess worship, a return to the traditional ways. And I woke up this morning and on my heart, I heard the Ascended Masters. They were urging me to talk to the wounded masculine energy in the world. Specifically, what we are seeing with the genocide, with the rape culture, with the hypocrisy in religion, with the disempowerment of the feminine, of women, okay? This is, it's a cancer, okay? This cancer has been plaguing the world since the creation of world religions. Before there were world religions, there was love. In the beginning, there was love. There was light. Before there was light, there was darkness, and then the light came. And so, if we want to talk about going back to traditional ways, hey guys, please pull me up a seat at your table. I would love to join this conversation. Traditional, what is traditional? Those that are on the tube, okay, the propaganda box, their limited viewpoint is coming from a snapshot of history, of created history. This is a history that was created after they murdered Jesus because he was the first anarchist. He came along and, he said, F this, F capitalism. F all of your laws trying to control people's souls and their spirits and their minds, and taxing them for living and taxing them for working and taxing them from telling them when they could worship their God. He said, F this, I'm going out. I am going to go off-roading. I'm going to go 4x4 in off-roading, and I'm going to find and carve a new path. Now, he spent decades, okay, off the beaten path. And what JC, Jesus, my man JC, gotta love him. So this is for all the masculine men right now who want to go back to traditional ways. Let's have a history lesson. So Jesus, what he discovered through meditation, through experimenting with plant medicine, nature meditation, and connecting his auric field to the trees. That's what Buddha, that's what Muhammad, that's what all the Ascended Masters figured out how to do. They showed me how to do it. You just connect your auric field to the trees and you stay within it long enough and you'll reach ascension, okay? Any man, any woman can achieve this. It's a consciousness. So what did JC do? He said, peace out, man. I'm leaving all my stuff behind. I'm going to go live in the woods. I'm going to go grab a tent. And I'm going to get down to the bottom of this, what's really going on. And so what he discovered was everything is energy, everything is sound, and everything is a vibration. And he connected into indigenous roots of healing with nature, of being one with nature, being in balance with his mind, body, and spirit. And the first thing that was shown to him was sacred sexuality. He didn't have video games to blow up his oxytocin and his serotonin and his hormones. He didn't have video games to become addicted to. He didn't have pornography to become addicted to. He actually left Mary behind because she was still, she was very much in her root chakra, and she is very much promiscuous and hurting, okay? And he saw that there was a better way. And so he started fasting. Now, fasting from food, he didn't drink. The substances that he took in were from the mother and from the great Mother Earth. Now, in his fasting, what he discovered, and I'm saying this, I'm lighting sage for all the men, okay? This is for all of our masculines, because they really need us. As for all the divine feminines, we really need to help the men right now. I'm gonna light some more sage, because the men are hurting. What we're seeing is a wounded masculine, and it is it's a collective consciousness wound, okay? We're seeing it all over the world. These men are hurting. They were hurt in childhood. They have mother wounds. That's why they're killing children. That's why they're killing us as citizens, why we can't afford food and rent and houses and all the things, okay? So I just want to take a moment and pray for the men. I call on all ascended masters. I call on my ancestors. I call on the Great Spirit, the Great Mystery. I call on God Creator. I call in the collective consciousness that is vibrating from a frequency of unity consciousness, that is vibrating from authenticity, that is vibrating from love, that is vibrating from joy and happiness and peace. I call in this collective to join me, to send authenticity photons of love shooting out from our heart chakras to every man in power right now, sending it to them so that they may heal their wounded feminine, that they may heal this wound within them, their disgrace, their disrespect, their disgust for their great mother, who is the original creator. This distorted and unhealthy relationship with the mother and the feminine, that these men, that the boys in the world, that they may be shown an example of what it is to honor and respect and protect the giver of life, which is Mother Earth, first and foremost, which gave us life, the first mother, where everything comes from, and then every feminine on the planet, that these men may come to realize that life would cease to exist without the feminine, without the woman, without the womb. That they may come to open their third eye, open their heart chakras, open their crown chakra to connect to God, okay? To connect to their creator, to connect back to Jesus. So Jesus can help them remember the respect and the love that we must have for the Great Mother. Thank you so much for joining me in this collective field, that we may send this healing to the wounded masculine, which is rooted in a distorted relationship with their mother. So I'll light some more sage. So I go back to JC. So JC, and this is, he's a great role model for boys. I mean, girls, boys, but right now we're talking about the masculine. And JC is a great example of how to live one's life. So he went out into the wilderness and he fasted. And what he discovered is the most powerful, the most enlightening, the most pure experience one can have in their mind, body, spirit, in connection to God Creator, was through fasting from sex, from casual sex, from intercourse, okay? Now, I hope y'all are all listening. One of the most powerful ascended masters, one of the most revered enlightened teachers of modern time, okay? And this is just modern, okay? We're taking a snapshot. Fasted and created his whole existence, okay, was centered around this purity of mind, his thoughts, his beliefs, what he was giving out to people, his body, okay, what he took in, substances, lack of substances, no alcohol, no hard drugs, just plants what the mother gave him, okay? And then, so mind, body, and spirit, he all purified them all. And the great mother helped him. He was a worshiper of the great mother, of Mother Earth, okay? And before y'all created, well, okay, I'll get there in a minute. So what was he doing? What was JC doing out in the wilderness? He was healing his wounded feminine energy. He was healing first, as a man, healing his wounded feminine energy. And how did he know all this? The trees started talking to him because of his devotion. When he got his heart pure enough, and he alchemized and he burned away his fears and his worries and all these low vibrating energies, okay? He was alchemizing. And the Great Mother teaches that the trees talk to us. Everything has a vibration and a frequency. And they were all singing to JC, okay? That's why he spent so much time alone in the wilderness. He was being taught. And so he learned the power of compassionate listening. And the real compassionate listening, this is for all the masculines, okay? All the men in power right now. Compassionate listening, which starts with the heart. He said, those have ears hear. What he really means is hear, feel, embody, feel with your heart. He learned this through his interactions with nature and the birds and the plants and the snakes and the creepy crawlers and the rain and being exposed to the elements. He worked a lot with fire. He kept sacred fire. And so he was healing his wounded feminine. And what great, what other, the master teacher is the Great Mother. The master of spirituality, the master teacher is the mother, is the feminine, okay? Now, when he came out from the wilderness and, but Mary Magdalene taught him the secret of the rose and helped him. He wouldn't have been able to reach enlightenment without Mary and the teachings that she shared with him. Mary was able to teach him about sacred intimacy and holding space, connecting auric fields. She helped Jesus solidify the healing of this wounded feminine. She was nurturing. She was sensitive. She was deeply spiritual and connected. And so I have some for Mary here. Rose Temple. I got some rose. I smoked some rose to get ready for this conversation. So I'm gonna burn some for Jesus and Mary. Now, how did she teach him about sacred sexuality? She sat with him. She didn't touch him. She didn't have sex with him, not right away. They were lovers. They did get married and they had children. But in the beginning, she taught him patience, how to, he was awakening his kundalini, and she was a snake charmer. And by that, I mean kundalini charmer. She showed Jesus how to direct his kundalini, because Mary was the ark, okay? Mary was the ark. It's in her DNA. Goes through the bloodline. She carried sacred knowledge all the way back to Egypt, all the way back to Atlantis and Lemuria before that. But she taught Jesus how to control his sexual energy. And sexual energy is life force energy. It's the most powerful energy we have within us. All the greatest teachers, the ascended masters, every single one of them learned how to control their serpent energy, which is based in the root chakra and the sacral chakra. This is sexual energy, their fire. They learned not only how to control it, but how to direct it at whim, how to direct it and shoot it out of their hands for healing. Jesus had healing hands only because he had mastered sacred sexuality. He had mastered his kundalini. Mary taught him how to do this. He could not have learned without Mary. So Mary, if you're interested more in this and sacred sexuality, you can book a one-on-one with me. We can do empowerment coaching. I'm just going to pause there. But I can help you. This is to all masculines, all men. I can help you master your sacred sexual energy to become the most powerful alchemist, to be able to create as if you had a magic wand, and not that wand, but from the 5D, how to connect to the astral realm, how to connect to ascended masters, pull it down through your crown, third eye, throat, all the way down to solar, and then back up, okay? I can help you work with this, and I can teach you. I can walk beside you to help you heal your wounded feminine energy. Wounded feminine energy looks like addictions to alcohol, addictions to pleasures outside of us. So it could be gambling, it could be sex addictions, it could be pornography addictions, anything outside of us that we are dependent on for pleasure and getting aroused. Okay, this is a seed, and these are clues onto where we need to start healing and unlocking. Healing is really transforming. When we talk about I'm going to heal, we're saying I am going to transform this energy pattern within my body to a pure, clear energy pattern of health and wellness and peace, okay? So that's all that illnesses and disease, they are energetic blocks within the body. Cancer, autoimmune diseases, I've had all of this, okay? And all of it can be healed, all of it. So let's go back to, there's a lot of talk going on. There's a lot of talk going on about returning to the traditional way. I speak from experience in sacred sexuality. Jesus came to me, Isis came to me, Thich Nhat Hanh came to me, Buddha came to me. I was surrounded by ascended masters when I spent a year in my homemade crystal cave monastery in my home. I was surrounded by them, and they showed me secret teachings, and they taught me how to work with my sacred sexual energy. I have been celibate by choice, as on my spiritual path and my spiritual commitment for the healing and for enlightenment for 3 years. 3 years. I have been taming, charming, alchemizing my serpent snake energy. Okay? 3 years. I have been working with this internal flame. I have, it's like a mechanic. A person doesn't just wake up one morning and say, I want to be a mechanic, and then they're a mechanic, or I want to be a doctor, and then they're a doctor. They have to develop the skills, and the mechanic has to work with every tool. They literally have to dissect engines and rebuild them, okay? Until they become masters, and it becomes, they build these neural networks in their brains and that connects to their fingers and their hands. And so it's one connection with the engine, with the vehicle, right? And so I have mastered the art of sacred sexuality, being able to, how do you manifest overnight? How do you become a magician? Man, the most powerful force you can harness, the most powerful energy that you can summon, this is magic, comes from within you. It comes from within you. God is in our DNA. The energies are all within our DNA. All the codes, all the secret codes are within our bodies. And so I can go into any file system within my body or in the astral realm, in the Akashic records. I can travel at whim. I lucid dream. I can direct my dreams. I can visit people in my sleep. I can go and have conversations with people when I dream. So how does one do this? How does one become Houdini? Master sacred sexuality. It is, I am the sacred temple. My body is the portal. Now, if we started to remember this about ourselves, okay, this physical avatar here, okay, if we started to place an altar at our avatar in this beautiful vessel, we would behave very differently in the world. If we remembered and came to realize that within is how we go out and into the universe, man, we'd really do things differently. So from experience, the wisdom I have gained is I am my most powerful, peaceful, happy, joyful, emotions are regulated and in balance. I am my most beautiful creation. And it all started with the art of sacred sexuality. If you'd like to learn more, you can visit the link in my bio and book a consultation. I can work with you one-on-one. So let's go back to traditional roles, man. I'd love to. So here we go. JC went out in the wilderness. He was like, wow, oh my gosh, like, look at this great mother. What are we doing? We're actually worshiping destruction and colonialism and conquering and killing. And when he got back to the city, man, he freaked out. That's why he was chasing people with whips and turning over tables, because his third eye was blown wide open. And he was like, oh my God, people, wake up. Like, look how much power you have within you. Look what you're capable of. You can create your dream life. You can live however you want to live. Why are you bowing down to these people who say that You have to go through them to get to God when God is within you and you are God. And he's like, hey, I'm God. Hey, I'm God and you're God and we're all God. And they were like, kill him. Okay. So traditional. Okay. Traditional. Let me break it down. What they're talking about right now on the tube, okay, these older white men. I have so much pity and empathy for them. When I see people, I see energy, and I just see hurting young boys who were scolded by their mothers, who were beaten by their fathers, who were neglected by their fathers, who weren't able to cry in front of anybody, who weren't able, they were taught to kill the feminine. How did they learn this? Because society, their families, their cult churches and religions taught them, brainwashed them into doing it to themselves first. Okay? Everything starts on the inside before it comes on the outside. So if you think about all these grown men, okay, in suits and sitting behind benches, acting as judges and priests and popes, first they were young boys. First they were feminine, masculine, a beautiful, perfect creation with no shame and no fear. And then it was downloaded into them by society, by cult churches, by religions, by education systems, all these things, right? And so that's all they knew is to hate the feminine because they hated it within themselves first. There's, if you look at modern history, traditional, that's what you want to go back to. We're healing from that. That's why so many of us have reincarnated. That's why we are here as light workers and as new earth leaders, is to help humans heal this wound with the mother, the great mother, the mother earth, okay? And there is no going back. We're not going back. That timeline is done, okay? The timeline is done. And we love you. And we pray for your healing. We pray that you may find a way in this society to be able to express your feminine in a healthy way. Not in secret societies dressing up like women. Not in secret societies paying to have sex with young girls. Not in secret societies having getaway sleep camps, running around dressed as women, naked. Not like that. And we want you to know that your instincts, these urges you have to be sexual with men, they aren't to be shamed. That you need a safe place to be able to express them. And that you will be accepted in this society. That most of your brothers are feeling the same way. They are. The hatred that you're coming out with these laws and these controls and trying to demonize. Yet, your leader, like the Pope, for example, you're a world religious leader. And you're creating false laws under the guise of God to condemn God's children when you have yet to take accountability for your role as a leader in the pedophilia cancer that is rampant through your religion. Rampant. Okay? Take some accountability, Pope Francis. Did you know that St. Francis was a patron of animals? Did you know that St. Francis was a patron of birds and dogs. He loved animals more than anything. Now, would St. Francis condemn women or humans who decide to have dogs instead of children? Who are you? Your name is Pope Francis. Shall you align with the saint that you have taken your name from? Or the accountability of the hatred you were creating in the world, that you were solidifying through your written doctrine, through your self-righteousness, instead of holy righteousness. You have chosen ego. You have chosen distorted relationship with Mary. And to Pope Francis, I want to offer you my healing. I would love to work with you and show you how Mary helped Jesus. You can book a consultation. The link is in my bio on Instagram. For Pope Francis, I pray that you heal and that Mary shows you the way. There's some sage as well. I pray that Pope Francis, I pray that you take accountability to my Indigenous brothers and sisters, to the years and the torment and the times when you stole our children and gave them away to white families, white Catholic parents. When you built schools to torture and assimilate my brothers, my Indigenous brothers and sisters, I pray for your healing. I pray for you to take accountability for your actions instead of, as a religious leader, creating more pain and more heartache, especially for those Catholic pastors and representatives of the church who identify as in the LGBTQ community, and to my brothers and sisters who have invested education, time, their hearts and their devotion to the Catholic religion. If you don't like Rome, leave Rome. The Catholic Church, the Pope, has made it very clear where they stand for our community. So, do you think that you're going to change the mind of a pope? Do you think that your letters are going to change his mind and his ego and his hunger for power and control? Take your power back. Take your power back. Love yourself enough to stop begging these institutions to love and accept you when it is so clear that they have no desire to. Take your power back, pack your bags, and walk away. We are here waiting for you. If you don't like Rome, leave Rome. If you don't like a narcissistic relationship, leave the narcissistic relationship. If you don't like being abused by your siblings and your parents and your community members because of who you are, you do not spend your energy trying to convince them to love you. You do not spend your time in trying to verbally convince them that you're worthy of love. You pack your bags and you leave Rome. Don't look back. Leave Rome. Burn, burn, burn like fabulous yellow Roman candles, exploding like spiders across the stars. Leave Rome. Take your power back. So the traditional woman is goddess worship. Let's go back to the traditional female roles. Yay, I'm so excited. Let's go back to the female kings and the queens, okay? If we go back to tradition, I've been waiting for this my whole life. If we go back to Egyptian times, 30, 60, 70,000 years ago, if we go back to Atlantis or Lemuria, 200, 300, 500,000 years ago, oh my God, the woman ruled. Men bowed at the feet of women. Women were in power. You know why? Because women did not distort or misuse their power for control or for greed. They used it to protect and to create and to nurture. They were in harmony with Mother Earth. They knew how to heal with the plants. They worshiped the sun. They danced and they sang around the fire. I can't wait to go back to the traditional roles of when we had a healthy relationship with the feminine. I cannot wait for female kings to come back. Thank you for bringing this up. Traditional roles are women in breastplates and hair coming out from their armpits and muscles and strength and swords and bows and arrows, and they could hunt and they could fish and they could build their own homes. They could build alongside the men. There's no difference in gender. They were looked up to for their spiritual reverence and their spiritual mysticism and their connection and their ability to be able to foresee into the future and their ability to be able to connect with animals and children and all species. You know why? And for their power. The Great Mother created women more powerful. This is scientifically proven. Let's go back to the traditional role of the women when women realized that they were stronger than men, and that is scientifically proven that at peak performance, that at peak expulsion of power, women are 2.5 times more powerful than men. You know why? Because only the womb can give birth. And so God, she knew she had to create us just like her to be able to birth the earth and to be able to bring life into the world. And our bodies had to be strong enough. Now, why wouldn't she give the same amount of power to men? Because only women can bring forth life, baby. Only women. And if women only knew how powerful they were, there would be no war. There would be no war. There would be war to stop unjust killing. Yes, there would be. There'd be women with torches in the streets right now if women realized how much power they had. If they saw the writing on the wall of the Handmaid's Tale happening before their eyes. Or the women who are zip-tied their mouths shut, enabling these men in these positions of power. Instead of divorcing them, you know you're not happy, leave Rome. Seriously, leave Rome if you're not happy. Everyone, this is a time to jump ship. This is a timeline split, okay? So this is down here, these older white men talking about putting women in the kitchen and their only role is in the kitchen. That timeline's burning to the ground, okay? This timeline is women rising in their power. This is men healing their wounded feminine energy, okay? And their mommy issues, and women healing their daddy issues, okay? So that they can feel empowered and strong enough to take care of themselves, that they don't need some person with a penis or any gender, okay? That we are fully self-sufficient on our own. And we get to choose if we want to procreate. We get to choose if we want to have a baby. We get to choose, and we don't have to explain to anybody what our choice is. It's no one's fucking business. It's between you and your creator and whatever your beliefs are. And your partner, if you're with a partner, okay? So stand down, boys. Please. Elon Musk, Pope Francis, Joe Biden, Greg Abbott, I would like to offer you my healing. I would like to offer you my one-on-one consulting and empowerment coaching. I will help you heal like Mary Magdalene did. We need you. We need you in your most empowered state. We need you in a healed place with your divine feminine, and I want to help you. So please visit the link in my bio on Instagram. I'd love to work with you and show you some secrets of the Rose Temple. You'll never feel more powerful. There's nothing outside of you that could give you more power than what I could show you. So, on that note, here's to going back to traditional female kings, where women are empowered, where women know that they were created stronger than men, that only the woman, only the divine feminine has the power that we need for the future, for the new earth, which is the deep nurturing, the deep protection, the deep love and compassion, especially for these wounded men who were wounded in childhood. May we create a society for our children for the future that allows young boys to feel safe in their femininity, to feel safe expressing their feminine side, because Creator created us with feminine energy and masculine energy, and a future where we teach our young girls how to not give a shit what anybody else thinks about them, and to be their own selves, and to do whatever it is that sets their heart on fire, and to not give their power away, not to give their vagina away, that no one owns it. Maybe raise young warriors, peaceful warriors, boys and girls, and teach them about sacred sexuality and the power that they truly have and that was gifted to them. And so it is. Signing out from the Rose Temple. Have a beautiful day. Again, if you'd like to work with me, I offer one-on-one empowerment coaching. I offer Reiki healing. I offer custom holistic health packages where we will work with mind, body, spirit, nutrition, movement, meditation, nature, to help you in your path to feeling whole again. I also offer one-on-one somatic dance therapy for men and women and children. I have a lot of offerings to bring forth into the world. Please reach out to me. I can help. So much love.